Yay Networks.
Welcome to another very, very special episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. I'm Kelly Raspberry Evans, of course, as always. Well, not always. A couple of times I've been solo, but back again, and I'm so glad he's here, is my husband and podcast co-host, Alan Evans.
Hey, Trade in the house.
It's embarrassing to do that in front of people, isn't it?
No, it's not.
When their eyeballs are on
I'm
you.
not embarrassed at all that we have people in the studio.
Looking at you say,
Looking at me say,
Your intro.
Hey, Trade in the house.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
with a little less emphasis than he normally does it. But we do have special guests in the studio, and we're so excited to have them back. If you've been a longtime listener of the podcast, their names are very familiar to you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you just discovered our podcast, and there's going to be some brand new information here. I hope you enjoy it. But we welcome back Dr. Kevin and Dr. Kathy Doody.
Yay!
Yay! And the reason we're having them back is because, guess what? It's Maybe Baby 4.0. We're doing it again.
We're giving away another baby. I mean, well, no.
Another chance to realize the dream of having a baby.
I'm going to help make another baby.
Well, maybe. But welcome back again, Dr. Kevin, Dr. Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you
Pleasure to
both.
be here.
Thank you. It is so exciting because we haven't seen you since well before COVID. It's been a long time since
Yeah.
we've had you on, so this is a special treat. And also a special treat that we're giving somebody else an opportunity to have a baby. And so much has occurred since, Dr. Kevin Doody is the reason I have Emma Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just 16, she's going to be 16 in October. So 16, 17 years ago when we first met.
Wow.
So much has changed in the world of infertility treatments, including what we're giving away today. Why don't we talk a little bit about the advancements that have been made?
Oh, my gosh. Tremendous advancements, primarily in the ability to grow embryos better. Also, the ability to genetically test embryos to make sure they're healthy before they're transferred.
Choosing the sex of the baby. I don't think, was that around when I was?
So it wasn't, it was around, but the genetic testing was not as, I would say it was not as good. And so the potential was for harming the embryo, and so there are some disadvantages there. But the technology has gone to what they call next generation sequencing. It's much more reliable.
Yeah, because I remember when I think most famously was John Legend and Chrissy Teigen when they went through infertility. She's very open about it, but she said we chose to have a girl first, and then we chose to have a boy first, which was so interesting that you can have that much flexibility in choosing babies, but I don't think that's what we advise for everyone. We're just happy to have a healthy baby, as it was in my situation.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I wouldn't ever be in that position again, but still.
I wish we could.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could, but.
Well, there's modern science, isn't there, Dr. Doody?
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea just to select the gender, but if you're doing the genetic testing anyway, and you've already had a female, a little girl, and you want a little boy, and you have a choice between two healthy-looking, chromosomally normal embryos, and one's a boy, one's a girl. It makes sense.
But the ultimate goal is to have a healthy baby.
I've always heard this wives' tale that families that have multiple girls in a row will have bigger families. I don't know if there's any, because they're wanting that boy. So they keep trying until they get that boy. Is there any truth to that, or have you seen anything like that?
Or vice versa, they have a bunch of boys till they finally get that girl.
Yeah, maybe so. But
Yeah, I think it's pretty equal.
Is it equal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, Dr. Kathy Doody is also here, and we were talking a little bit about how important it is for us to be doing another Maybe Baby 4.0. The timing is especially perfect because we're coming up on National Infertility Awareness Week, which kicks off Sunday, April 24th. Now, when you have an awareness week, what does that really mean for people? I mean, because we can be aware of all sorts of things and we can wear colored ribbons. Does infertility awareness have a pink or blue ribbon or anything like that? I don't know.
I don't know.
But what do we do during Infertility Awareness Week?
So I think probably you can think of it in two equal parts. One is just to raise awareness among the public in general that infertility is a common illness, and it is a medical illness. It's not something you choose. It's not a lifestyle choice. So I think by making people more aware, it does help the infertile community. Sometimes even in today's time of digital living, some patients really don't have all the information they need. What I hope is that things like this podcast will give hope to patients to help them along their fertility journey and to achieve that dream of having a baby. Baby's a wonderful gift in life.
I know, always hope and promise in every new little life that comes into the world. And I think, it's been, oh gosh, and Kelly's about to be 16 in October. I mean, not about to be, she's 15 and a half, as she would like to say.
She's 16 in October?
Yeah, I know, right?
Holy
about to
moly.
get her driver's permit. Isn't that crazy, Dr. Doody?
That just hit me.
But, I think back to when I was going through my infertility struggle, and I don't think about it every day. Of course, when I'm going through it, it was all encompassing, all I thought about, everything, and it was such a heavy thing. The emotional toll, I think, is also very important to highlight during Infertility Awareness Week, because I don't think a lot of times people talk about the strain it is on a marriage. I remember filing for divorce the first time I went through fertility and nothing was working. That was before I found you. And I just remember the stress. And I think that's something also that should be made more aware of, is maybe some marriage therapy needs to be going on through fertility treatments as well. Do you offer that, anything like that at your clinic? Care fertility.
So the American Society of Reproductive Medicine does have a group of mental health professionals that helps people. These are mental health professionals that are really trained to deal with the issues that surround it.
Yeah.
But I think, speaking about awareness and what you've done over the years I think previously there was perhaps some underlying shame that some patients might have felt, and by bringing it to the forefront and speaking publicly about it as you do, and having a National Infertility Awareness Week, it helps people recognize that they're not alone. And
because you do feel that way when you're going through it.
I think women in particular will feel very isolated sometimes, and there is an incredibly strong infertility community, patients that really support each other. I mean, we were talking earlier about patient advocacy, and so organization that, if those of you listening aren't familiar with, is resolve.org. It's a patient-run patient advocacy group. It's not about physicians. It's about patients getting support, getting information, advocating for themselves and others to increase the capability for patients to have infertility coverage.
And the coverage, the insurance coverage, I think is also important, because a decade or so ago, not everybody offered insurance to cover fertility treatments. And it's an expensive process, and you're not always guaranteed success the first time. Sometimes it's multiple cycles of in vitro, or now we have Effortless IVF. We're going to be giving away that later on in the podcast. We're giving you details about that. So much has come a long way, but it's because of, the people struggling, going to our companies and saying, look, you got to help me out here. We need coverage for this too. And it's advocating for yourself, right?
It's important that people really do recognize now that it is a disease and should be covered by insurance.
See, I never thought of it as a disease.
And it's a very curable disease.
Yeah,
right?
I never thought of it as a disease, though. That's interesting.
And employers often haven't. Texas does have a law that requires insurance companies that sell health insurance in Texas must offer plans that cover in vitro fertilization, but employers are often unaware of that.
Yeah.
And so what Resolve can do is provide a little toolkit for patients to go to their human resource, leaders in their organization to advocate for change.
That's
or even
wonderful.
advocate for statewide change. There are very few states really in the United States, still a handful, I want to say probably 13, that mandate IVF coverage. But the most recent state that obtained that coverage a few years ago, it was due to the grassroots effort of a single patient. She led the charge in that state. I want to say it was, I think, Maryland or Delaware, and they obtained coverage.
That's wonderful.
Wow.
There's power in that.
Mm-hmm.
There is
And
power.
And you said that the Resolve Advocacy Day, which you were just talking about, is coming up on May 18th. And it's available by Zoom.
Right, it's a virtual advocacy day, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity for patients to feel like they're a part of the process, and
Have a voice.
It's been virtual the last couple of years because, of course, COVID.
Yeah.
But we're given an excellent set of talking points. You're grouped together, patients usually with one or two physicians as part of their group, and you speak to a congressman or congresswoman's office or a senator, typically, of course, with a staff member, not the actual individual themselves. But change will come about, and it's slow. Not surprisingly, it's government. The wheels change slowly, but over the years that Kevin and I have been involved, we certainly have seen those changes begin to occur.
I love that.
That's
for,
awesome.
for women and men that are going through it now too.
All right, couples.
Couples that are going through it. And I think also, like, when I was going through it so many years ago, I can put myself back in that emotional headspace if I want to. But I think also social media has really gotten the conversation, for better, for worse, probably. There's so much good that you don't feel alone. There are these online communities and support groups, but a lot of misinformation also getting put out there. Is there anything that you think needs to be cleared up about some of the myths of what people can expect when they go through infertility treatments? Is there anything that you think is perhaps maybe doing some damage?
Don't assume when someone tells you it's because you're stressed. You just need to relax and let it happen. That is an absolute myth.
Yeah.
One doesn't stress themselves out in terms of having a baby. The other real myth is having sex every other day or this. No, the number one thing that enhances your natural fertility is having frequent intercourse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It's logical.
Right.
But if you're not producing eggs,
True.
you could have sex all you want and not make a baby.
Yeah, and I think people, another misconception is that people think infertility treatment is difficult. I think over the years we've really developed ways to streamline the whole process and to make it easier, both from the diagnostic standpoint and the treatment, even when we're doing, our most successful treatment like IVF.
There's a lot of things happening in April, including the fact that April is Earth Month. And we want to, think more about what we're doing to affect our planet, even when it comes to our fashion. Let me tell you about Rothy's, because Rothy's believes even the slightest little changes can make a huge impact. And that starts with what you're wearing on your feet, the bags you're carrying, the daily essentials, because all of Rothy's products are made from recycled plastics. Yes, they've repurposed millions of water bottles into their signature thread that goes into everything they make. Plus Rothy's shoes, bags, other essentials, they're made with less wasted fabric, designed to be durable and washable. That's what I love. When my little Rothy's flats need a refresh, I just toss them in the wash. They come out looking good as new, like a fresh new pair. They're so comfortable, no break-in period. They're sustainable. They are comfortable. They are washable. But let's be honest, we want them to look super cute too. And with Rothy's, you've got all of that and more. And know that when you're wearing Rothy's, your footprint is just going to feel lighter than ever. Get $20 off your first purchase today at rothys.com/sandwich. That's rothys.com/sandwich. And I do think a lot of times now ladies are being told, because, they're maybe not in a relationship, they're in their 30s, and, they're thinking, well, my most fertile years are behind me. Is it great, at what age would you suggest a woman, even if she's not in a relationship, go in just to check her fertility? You need to have like we call it a baseline for your fertility, I guess, to see where you stand and maybe what you need to do to make sure that you have a better shot at having a child. Is there a certain age that you would suggest someone being checked for those things?
I mean, I think by your late 20s, early 30s, things like egg freezing,
Yes.
absolutely is becoming more commonplace, so that you don't all of a sudden say, oh my gosh, I'm 40, where did the years go? If you were to freeze your eggs at age 30 or 32, it's not a guarantee, but it does, I think, help women feel more proactive in terms of being in control of their own future choices.
You don't rush to a decision just because you feel like the time is running out.
Do you do that at your practice, Dr.
Yes.
Kathy? You do egg freezing?
Yes.
Is that a intensive process, or how does
No,
that?
it's really relatively easy. It's about 10 to 12 days of injections and the egg retrieval, and you're done.
Yeah.
So in a 2-week time period, you could go through and freeze your eggs, and go right back to work. You
But
wouldn't
do
even
it when
need to
you're
miss much.
early in your 30s. Don't
Right.
wait till you're
Yeah,
45,
don't wait.
right?
Please,
Oh, yeah.
please don't wait till you're older. It becomes much more difficult.
And the eggs are frozen indefinitely, or is there a shelf life? Or how does that work?
No, freezing, whether it's eggs, sperm, embryos, the duration of freezing doesn't impact on the ultimate outcome.
Is
Freeze
that
it all.
They can outlive you.
right? That blows my mind.
I know. But, also, and this is the
Wow.
term that gets women, it just punches them right in the gut. Age 35 is considered a geriatric pregnancy.
Geriatric.
And I want to advocate for change. I don't want that label anymore. Why is 35 considered a geriatric pregnancy?
My guess is I think it goes way back in the day when amniocentesis was used to diagnose potential problems in early pregnancy. And so the break point kind of was 35, where the information you would get outweighed the risk of the procedure. I'm with you. I don't think 35 is geriatric.
Right.
And even a woman who's, 40 or early 40s, who's healthy and active, she'll do well.
That's right. Let's just wipe that out of the vocabulary, because
Now-
it is like, oh, it hurts
Now,
so
on the other hand, as we age, of course, for all women, our fertility declines.
Yeah.
We're most fertile in our 20s. It's decreasing by the time we go into our 30s. Not a lot, but enough. By the time we reach age 40, and then afterwards, we're
plummets.
yeah, so that's why I think women need to be more aware of their choices. What are things I can do? Don't feel like you have to have a baby right now,
Right.
but investigate your options.
Well, maybe National Infertility Awareness Week is a time just to, find out where you stand. You might be fertile myrtle and you'd be fine for a while, but at least it's a good time. Like, I should probably make that appointment and get checked, and just to see where I stand. I think that's wonderful.
And what's the, I guess for men, what would be the name for men? Fertile,
You'd have to ask the doctors.
fertile myrtle
Oh.
for a man.
Oh.
What would that be? And is
Fertile
it
Fred?
fertile
Fertile
Fred?
Well, that's my ex-husband's name, so we probably won't want to go to that one.
Virile Victor? But
There you go.
That's
no,
a good one.
but does their fertility for men change? I know we're focusing on women today, but does the fertility
does
for men change
matter.
over time?
So not as much. We
Not
do
as
start
much?
to see sperm quality issues go down. What we call sperm DNA fragmentation goes up as men get into their later 30s and 40s and beyond. The eggs in women become depleted. You're born with all the eggs you're ever going to have,
Oh.
and it
Isn't that
and it just
crazy?
goes down to nothing by
crazy to think
menopause.
of that.
Whereas for men, it's that sperm formation happens throughout their lifetime. But you do see declines in the sperm quality and even in the sperm number as guys get older. And there's been a lot of debate about this, but there are also probably things in our environment. You may read some fairly well documented observations that sperm counts have been going down over the last couple decades, as have guys' testosterones.
Whoa. Because like cell phones and things, those theories are thrown out about cell phone towers.
People have attributed it to endocrine disruptors that come from the plastics that are so ubiquitous, but we really don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting.
It is interesting, and it's so, it can sometimes feel frustrated, like you have so many things against you, but they've made so many advances in infertility treatment and different options, including effortless IVF.
Effortless IVF.
And this is not around when I went through my infertility treatment. What is it about effortless IVF that does make it effortless?
So Effortless IVF, we began in 2013, at the end of 2013, our goal was to try to create a simplified, more streamlined way to do IVF that made it easier for patients and, very importantly, more affordable.
Yeah. And what is it how do you streamline it?
So we streamline two aspects. One is the ovarian stimulation. So we have a blood test available to us today called AMH, and we use that combined with the patient's body weight to preset a dose so that we don't have to have multiple visits during that 10 to 12 day time frame to measure blood estrogen levels and to do sonograms. Essentially, we just do a sonogram at baseline and one after 9 days on the 10th day to determine when the egg retrieval would be. But the most important way that we simplify is what happens in the laboratory. So the sperm and the egg Normally, it's a very complex sequence of events that happen in the laboratory to achieve fertilization and embryo development, et cetera. But there's a device called an InvoCell, and we simply put the prepared sperm and the eggs together in this little plastic capsule that goes into the woman's vagina, and then she then acts as the natural incubator for the fertilization of the egg and the embryo development that happens over 5 days. All the lab work is really eliminated. After 5 days, she comes in, we remove the little capsule and take out the developing embryos, and we may transfer one and freeze the extras.
Now, that is very different. I didn't do that.
Very, very different. And it works really well for certain types of our patients and less well for others. And maybe Kathy can give us.
So we think that the woman who is best suited for effortless IVF in terms of her ovarian reserve, her egg reserve, probably has an AMH of 1 or higher. Weight and BMI are 2 factors that play into the decision making as well. So the woman needs to weigh less than 190 and have a BMI less than 35. And it doesn't mean that the women who weigh more than 190 or have a BMI greater than 35 aren't good IVF candidates. They very well may be. It's the fact that we're not going to do any dose adjustments. As Kevin mentioned, it's a personalized, dosing protocol that's made before we begin the cycle. It does simplify the process, but sometimes women don't respond as we expect. And so women who weigh more, we need to use more drug, higher dosages. And now that the response is less predictable.
So if you are struggling with fertility and you're seeking treatment, is it advised to get for the best possible result to get down below 190 or that BMI 35?
If you're interested in the effortless IVF process,
right.
that is a part of it.
Because the other way would be the traditional way that I did it.
Conventional IVF, right? Which
traditional.
Just involves more visits, more blood tests, sonograms. Than
Okay,
we
so
would be doing.
you're not out of options. You
No.
you have to go a different path.
Right. I mean, we still do. Majority of our cycles are conventional IVF, but probably 90 to 100 each year are effortless IVF now. And in addition to the effortless IVF to obtain the embryos, we have an effortless frozen transfer cycle, which has no monitoring in it at all. The woman is just instructed when to start her estrogen, when to start her progesterone, and to come in for her embryo transfer. And we certainly have had, equivalent success with that strategy. And we've had 2 couples now that have been back to have their 3rd pregnancy from one effortless IVF cycle.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So they created their entire family with 1 egg retrieval and then subsequent transfers.
That's wonderful.
I know.
Amazing.
That's beautiful.
And I think it's important to mention that there's one other type of patient that's maybe not so suitable, and that's the severe sperm problems. So for that, we need to do what's called ICSI, where an individual sperm is inserted into an individual egg, and that's obviously a high-tech process. So the effortless IVF uses that capsule where there's really a competition between the sperm. So the strongest, fittest, fastest sperm wins the race, fertilizes the egg, right? But you have to have, sperm that are very functional and motile in order to be able to do it that way.
But even with a weak sperm count, even with a low egg count, there is still a chance. There's
right.
always a chance, right? And that's what was with me. I had a very, very low egg count, but we made it happen. All we needed was 1 good egg. And we made it work, and we have beautiful Emma Kelly. For better, for worse, we have Emma Kelly, right, honey?
Oh, for better. What are you talking about?
15.
What are you talking
15's hard, Dr. Doody. You know, when something says one size fits all, I almost laugh because, there is no one size fits all solution, not even when it comes to your hair care.
Have they seen our heads?
Right. A product that works wonders for curls might make straight hair limp or greasy. But this is what is so beautiful about Pros.
Pros.
I love my personalized Pros routine because I'm telling you, it makes such a difference when I have personalized care specifically for my hair. Pros makes custom hair care that's effective because it's all about you and the answers you give to that in-depth consultation that you can take online. It's very simple, and they cover everything. They customize everything in your routine from shampoo to supplements. And Pros ask me some really unexpected things like, what zip code I live in, because that really does make a difference into how your hair responds to certain shampoos and serums, what I eat, how much I exercise, things like that. That's all covered in the Pros online quiz. They analyze all your answers to determine what unique blend of ingredients should be in every product for your custom routine. And together, you and Pros have all your hair goals covered. I know that I can feel a difference because I'm the one dealing with my hair on a daily basis. But when my daddy looked over at me and said, "Your hair looks so beautiful today," I'm like, I know it's working. Pros is making a difference, making my hair look and feel more luxurious every day with every wash, with every supplement I take. Pros is the healthy hair regimen with your name all over it. Take your free in-depth hair consultation and get 15% off your first order today. Go to pros.com/sandwich. That's PROSE.com/sandwich for your free in-depth hair consultation and 15% off. Well, if we're going to give away another chance for a couple to conceive a baby. I mean, we obviously cannot guarantee that a baby is going to be the result of an effortless IVF round, but you have a really good shot. And that's what we're giving away here with Maybe Baby 4.0.
How do we do it, Kelly? What do I do? What do I do?
Well, what do we do, Alan? You set up the website.
You go to and we mentioned this on a podcast, couple of podcasts
Yeah.
now, but you go to kellyandallen.com/maybebaby. And there you will see a form, and what we want you to do is, in 100 words or less, tell us about your infertility journey.
I know you think it's hard, but you can do it. We've done this 3 previous times before, and it's amazing what information you can pack into a brief 100 words.
Yeah, we've read a lot already. We've received over 100 entries.
Oh, that's wonderful. We've only mentioned it like once.
I know. We just got started, but
good.
a lot of them are very sad to read, and
I know it's heartbreaking.
It's tough, but Kelly and I will read all of them along with the doctors, and we have the dates when we're going to finish this up, babe. I think it's April the 26th when the contest ends.
See, ask a question. Whenever you ask a question, you
better
have to
know
know the
you
answer.
better know the answer. Yeah, you're going to enter by 5 p.m. Central Time on April the 26th. And then we're going to announce the winning couple on April the 28th.
Okay, the podcast that drops April the 28th.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, the person who is chosen to receive a round of Effortless IVF, explain what's going to happen from the moment that their name is announced.
So our office will contact them. We'll get any medical records that they've had at any other clinic, but they'll schedule to come in. We want to do our own exam.
Yes.
Pelvic ultrasound, check her egg count, check the sperm counts and things of that nature. And then we'll explain the effortless IVF process and get underway.
And is it a long, drawn-out process once you have that first initial consultation?
No, typically you could get the evaluation within a month and start your effortless IVF cycle the following month. It does include all of the stimulation medications that are needed for the cycle. And as Kevin mentioned, the diagnostic testing, consultation, we do everything via Zoom for consults.
Yes.
Now. I will say the one good thing about COVID, if you can say there was one good thing, was the wide acceptance, I think, of telehealth. Makes it easier.
I agree.
I mean, our patients have to come in for so many things. It's wonderful to be able to allow them not to miss work or not to have to, drive in from far away just for a meeting with us.
Yeah. And you have people come in from all over the country because they know the reputation that you have with success. Where's the farthest person that's come in? Do you have any idea?
Asia.
China.
Asia.
I had someone come from China. We've had the UK,
Hey, Mike.
Africa, all over the United States.
Because
Wow.
Seriously, this is really, these doctors know what they're doing. Do you
Yeah,
have
they
any
do.
idea how many babies that you have? You haven't kept any records, have you?
No,
We lost track. We can estimate, but
bunch.
A bunch.
5,000.
more.
10,000.
Wait.
More
it,
than that.
it should be more than 10, but
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know. Because how long have y'all been doing this?
since 1989.
Oh, gosh.
1989. So y'all were like one of the first in the country. I would say you were among the first, right?
We did a lot of the techniques and new technologies. We were among the first or the first.
Have you been responsible for any advancements yourselves?
So we were the first clinic in the United States to do extended embryo culture or blastocyst transfers routinely on all of our patients, and we've been doing that since 1998.
Mm-hmm. I know what that means.
You do?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
He does not.
And we were the first really to successfully use the vaginal culture system.
All right here, and I was so blessed that you know who introduced me to Dr. Doody? My hairdresser.
Which
That's
one?
where Tori.
Oh, Tori.
Yes, that's the best referrals you get is sitting in the
No
salon
kidding.
chair. Yes, she's introduced me because I was struggling. You know, I was sad and I was going through whatever my doctor told me.
Yeah.
I did the Clomid. Are they even doing that anymore?
Less commonly.
Yeah, because there was a chance, for multiple births. That's how
what I've
John
always
and
heard.
Kate plus
Yeah.
8. They were
really?
Clomid. Am I saying that right? It's Clomid,
I
right?
believe they were taking the injections.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
It'd be hard to have that many with
right.
Clomid.
I did
Oh.
that. Lack of a better term, I call it the turkey baster.
Right.
What is that? IUI? Is that IUI.
Intrauterine insemination.
I did the dye test, and they
Mhm.
said a lot of times when you do the dye test, it opens up your tubes and suddenly you can get pregnant. That didn't work.
Mm.
And, I just thought I'd given up. And it was, like I said, it was affecting the health of my marriage. And I was like, well, at this point, I'm going to concentrate on my marriage and not worry about it anymore. And my then husband then finally, after tensions had settled a little bit and emotions, he's like, okay, let's try one more time. And I said, well, my hairdresser recommended Dr. Doody. And that's the phone call I made. And for me, I was just really, really fortunate that my first cycle of IVF, just traditional IVF, I resulted in a Kellie. So I was very, very fortunate. And I know that because I do hear from women who have been through, I'm getting ready to go through my third cycle. Please pray for me and things like that. So
You were 39?
I had her, so I got
38?
pregnant February, I turned 39 in April. So I was declared pregnant in February. But there's something about when you get pregnant with IVF, you're actually a little further along in your pregnancy because of the whole Petri dish thing or whatever.
So obstetricians date pregnancies from last menstrual period, but the conception or the fertilization
Right.
happens 2 weeks after that, or the egg is released. So that's where.
So my pregnancy was a little, but for some reason the numbers were just a little tad different because
right.
of that, right?
Well, right, because a woman doesn't always ovulate on day 14.
Right.
That's just sort of historically how it's been calculated. But with things like IVF, we know right when it happens.
Yeah. And it's so interesting when I got the phone call, the lovely, I cannot remember the lady that called me to tell me I was pregnant. I didn't really, it was like, I can't be, because I'd had so many no's and I was just like, but this doesn't feel, I don't feel pregnant, because I just had, I'm like, this doesn't feel right. And it took me a while to finally accept, I guess, when my belly started pooching out, I really am pregnant.
The reason I was asking, babe, is because, if they were offering the IVF treatment back then, the one we're giving away, the Effortless IVF, you would have qualified. So just going back to the website, there are some qualifications for people who want to enter.
Well, except for my age.
And one of them is, age less than 40.
Well, for the
honey,
contest we're using.
I know. I'm just saying.
Back then, it would have worked.
Back then, you would have been.
Alan told me no more babies, but I don't think that's really
Come
even
on,
medical.
Alan, one
I don't think
more.
it's even medically possible at this point.
Dr. Doody said at my age, I'm still virile.
Yeah, he did.
Let me give you a cup and we'll pass.
right,
Whoa,
right.
whoa. What? I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Dr. Doody.
Well, we're excited because, our very first maybe baby, it was just called Maybe Baby. It wasn't 1.0.
Yeah.
We had Kellie and Louise, and I'll never forget calling them. They were at a baseball
They were at
game.
an Astros game.
And they were just, they left the game to come take the call. And it was such a joyous phone call. And it resulted in their first child, Asher, being born, little boy named Asher. And now she's just recently had a baby girl.
I know.
So it's just so exciting. And, she always posts pictures in our little sandwich and some love and baseball caps. Did we give y'all some sandwiches and love and baseball caps?
No.
We need to get you those. We'll get you those. We don't have them with us
Who's
today.
the marketing guy of this Mickey Mouse operation?
That would be you, honey.
Okay.
Viral Victor over there. But yeah, she takes little baby, their little birth pictures and stuff wearing the baseball cap, which
very
is so cute.
She does the most amazing photographs.
She does.
And she's kept in contact with you guys a lot,
and,
too.
and she's also been very supportive for other patients going through the same journey. I mean,
Yeah.
she's an amazing woman.
That's
because
awesome.
she's like a cheerleader for other
She
people
is.
because it is
Absolutely.
discouraging. I remember sitting in that parking lot before I'd go in for an appointment just crying. Is this like, do I really want to go through this, again? Do I want to keep doing it? But, don't give up hope because there's so many advances that have been made just since I went through my struggle. And this effortless IVF, wow. I mean, just way less expensive. If you looked at it before and you didn't check out Effortless IVF, this is a more affordable, more streamlined way. And, please contact Dr. Kevin and Kathy Doody. We want to have more people in our family.
It's growing.
It is a growing family,
think
literally.
It's absolutely growing.
Literally growing. So how do people find you? I know the website, but I want you to say everything about how do people can get in touch with you guys.
So we have two websites. One is embryo.net.
That's the one I know.
www.embryo.net. But
It's so easy to remember, embryo.net.
But for those that want to learn more about Effortless IVF specifically, there's an effortlessivf.com website.
Okay, great. And is that yours as well?
Yep.
Oh, great.
Oh, wow.
Smart. That was smart of y'all to do that. And so again, for this Maybe Baby 4.0, share your story, what briefly what you've been through, and just try to keep it, I know, as close as possible to 100 words or less because we have to read a lot of them. And I'll just be honest. If you're sending us 17 pages, I know everybody wants to share the story, but we just don't, physically have the time to do that.
We'd skim that one.
We would maybe skim
We'd
that.
skim
You
that
want us to get to the meat of
Right.
the meat of your letters. So if you can keep it to 100 words or less, go to kellyandallen.com/maybebaby. And you need to do this before the deadline of,
5 p.m. April 26th.
and then on the following podcast on April 28th, we'll announce the next winner of a round of Effortless IVF with Doctors Kevin and Kathy Doody.
And more details on the website, like the free cycle needs to be completed by August the 15th.
Oh, there's some little rules and
Yeah,
things there.
there's some things to check out before you
Okay.
enter, but yeah,
Great.
it's all right there on one page on the website.
Well, if you're a listener of this podcast and you know of someone, we please tell them about this, and maybe that'll introduce them to our podcast as well and to Doctors Kevin and Kathy Doody. But we're excited about the possibilities and hoping to grow our podcast family with a new baby.
Yeah, spread the word because it's not, this isn't just for our hardcore listeners. Anybody who wants to enter can enter.
Yeah.
As
But we'd
long
like
as
them to listen.
We'd like you to listen, but
Maybe we should write that into the rules. You have to promise you're going to listen from now on.
you have to send us a code word or something.
Yeah, that's the new rule. We'll add that in post. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe,
I'm
what
kidding.
could the code word be?
Baby.
Baby.
Viral Victor.
Viral Victor. He's liking that one better. Hey, listen, don't forget National Infertility Awareness Week, right? Coinciding because the deadline to enter is right smack dab in the middle of National Infertility Awareness Week.
Yes,
So
we planned it this way,
we
babe.
certainly did. So we'll be announcing that. And May 18th, don't forget, is the Resolve Advocacy Day. Dr. Kathy, what was the website again for people who want to take part and maybe get more information on that?
Resolve.org.
That's easy enough, resolve.org. I'll write that down so I won't forget, and I'll put that in the show notes as well. Is there anything we didn't get to today that we need to cover before we say goodbye and let you guys go? Make more babies?
But thank you for having us, and we really hope to be a part of someone's fertility journey and make that dream come true.
Oh, we hope so too. Dr.
Absolutely.
Kevin?
Yeah, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure again.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for always, doing this for us. It means a lot to us as well.
It really does. And we talk on the podcast a lot about how just being a part of this means so much to us. We kind of, we're just coordinate a little bit of it, but y'all do the real work. And
I want to be
to make this happen. And
I want to
it's
be
just-
in the room next time.
it's amazing.
I want to be more of a part of it.
I want to be in the room with a camera, a GoPro.
No.
You think they'd let us put a GoPro on doctors' heads?
With the patient's consent, maybe. No.
Doctors are turning red.
They're like, no, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
no, it's okay.
Those
Well,
shenanigans.
I tried.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here. I hope we get a lot of, I know we will get it already. We have so many entries coming in, but we need some more. So please get those in now. And honey, I think that's it for us for this week.
Okay, you got anything else?
Nope, I think I'm done.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Okay, well, I love you desperately.
I love you
I
desperately.
love the doctors desperately, and I love our listeners desperately, but I am sure we will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.